Maps. We've always known them. We've always loved them. This is an Asian map. This is a European map. And this is an American map. Now you may be confused, and I don't blame you. So let me explain. The term MAP is an acronym that stands for Minor Attracted Person. A very nice and kind way of saying dirty pedophile. Now, the regressive left is trying to use this term, MAP, in order to normalize and destigmatize dirty pedophiles. But we can't let that happen, which is why I'm making this video. While I was getting ready to make this video, I went out in the field with my camera and I actually caught a map in action. So check this out. It's disturbing, but we must watch. I first came across the term maps following Libs of TikTok, probably the best Twitter account to follow. So go follow them. I think it's a her. And while you're at it, follow me too, Gaston the Ginger. So let's begin with Allison Walker, the non-binary assistant professor at Old Dominion University who is trying to normalize the term map. Great.
I term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy group.
Why? Should we start calling murderers soul freers? Oh, he freed my soul. He freed his soul. No, he murdered him.
Groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions.
It's not true. Pedophile actually means minor attracted person. You don't have to actually commit the act. You just have to be attracted, which is literally what minor attracted person means. Pedophile.
About attractions toward minors. I've definitely heard the idea that you brought up, though, that the use of the term minor attracted person suggests that it's okay to be attracted to children. But using a term that communicates who someone is attracted to doesn't indicate anything about the morality of that attraction.
The way I think it's a she, I actually have no idea, is framing this is as if being a pedophile is a sexuality, which is not. Is it going to be the next letter in the LGBTQIA plus alphabet? M? LGBTQ. For minor attracted person. It's not a sexuality, it's a sickness. And it's okay to admit you have it and to seek help. But once you act on it, my friend, you're the worst of the worst. Now we've seen this video and I want to be fair to her, so I want to read this text here. Quote, we have a tendency to want to categorize people with these kind of attractions as evil or morally corrupt, Walker said, but when we're talking about non-offending maps, these are people who have an attraction they didn't ask for. This is correct. This is correct, which is why I wouldn't advocate to throw these people in prison if they haven't acted on their immoral, corrupt, depraved fantasies. The ODU professor said that research could not answer whether minor attracted persons could be established as a specific sexual attraction because they're not a sexual attraction. It's a mental disorder. Quote, my research touched upon the labels that maps use to describe themselves. Walker said a lot of them have been really conscious about their choice of language because they don't want to slander lesbian, gay, and bisexual people. So they use language to distance themselves from the LGB folks. So maybe they won't be in the alphabet, but I have a feeling they will. In an email to the Washington Examiner, Walker said, I want to be clear. Child sexual abuse is an inexcusable crime. As an assistant professor of sociology and criminal justice, the goal of my research is to prevent crime. My work is informed by my past experience in advocacy as a social worker counseling victims. I embarked on this research in hopes of gaining understanding of a group that previously has not been studied in order to identify ways to protect children. So she's been placed on leave, and the university said it's because of her protection, not because of her opinions. Now, there's a Twitter thread I want to read you about this because it concludes with Allison Walker's research, which is very disturbing. So let's read this. I have a problem with the use of name, map, and minor attracted person for pedophiles, offending or non-offending. So do I. 2. Queer theorists who make an equivalence between a healthy adult sexual orientation like same-sex attraction and pedophilia. Yeah, same-sex. Gay is same-sex, same-sex. Bisexual is, male-female, male-male. Gay is male-male. Lesbian is female-female. This is adult child. What the fuck? There is a significant and obvious issue with self-report when it comes to non-offending pedophiles related to the obvious issue of criminality in admitting to offending. In a sample of 127 sexual abuse material offenders, only 4.8% disclosed contact offending. After a tactical polygraph was applied, an additional 52% disclosed offending. Holy shit. Now, I'm showing you this so you can go and follow the thread and click on the links, but we're not going to do that because it will be here forever. Alison Walker claims to have studied non-offending pedophiles, yet highlights their use of child sexual abuse materials as strategy for not committing offenses and means of remaining resilient to offending. Using child sexual abuse materials is offending. I agree. Alison Walker makes the political and research stance very clear. Importantly, this dissertation is part of an ongoing effort among many scholars to queer the field of criminology. I am vigorously opposed to the queer politics of adopting pedophiles as members of a queer sexual minority. Sadly, there is a long history of so-called queer people advocating for actual child sexual abuse. While that intersection may be small, it demonstrably exists. Maybe that's because at least a significant percentage of those folk have been abused when they were children. Argued for the age of consent laws down to the age of infant. What the fuck? Pedophilia is like a preference for spicy food. Foucault, Judith Butler, Pat Califia, later reconsidered, Peter Tatchell. Oh my god, I don't even want to watch that. Pedophilia is a preference like spicy food? I think it's important to research harm reduction techniques for child sexual abuse. So do I. I am in favor of researching programs that support prevent offending. I think the framing of any research is vitally important. I think the framing of Alison Walker's research is very wrong. Extremely wrong. And you're going to see why when we get to her conclusion. Don't bother adding me with dumb takes like, this is the new homophobia. I have watched the constant attempts of child sexual abusers and apologists to gain shelter under the rainbow flag. So have I. And by the way, why are there so many children at pride parades? And I'm not talking about the normal pride parades. I'm talking about like the fetish ones where you see the men in thongs being with the leashes around their heads and stuff. Anyway, this is the most important part. One of the solutions that Alison Walker came up with. Check this out. Child pornography as harm reduction technique has previously been theorized to be a potential strategy for MAPS to maintain abstinence from sexual contact with children. Taylor and Quayle have suggested that individuals who view child pornography may partly choose to do so as a form of therapy, as a way of controlling their interest, as a form of personal survival, or as a way of dealing with emotions such as anger that had no other outlet. Similarly, Wallach, Finkelnor, Mitchell, and Ibarra have theorized that among some groups of predisposed individuals, easy access to a wide variety of engrossing and high-quality child pornography could serve as a substitute for involvement with actual victims. This thing is proposing we provide a wide variety of high-quality child pornography to MAPS so they don't offend. So my question is this: how are you going to make child pornography without the children? That's abuse itself. But let's say you could do it with CGI or some type of technology. Do you really think that giving this type of pornography to pedophiles will not exacerbate their fantasies? Oh my God. An assistant professor at a university wrote this. Do you guys remember Drag Queen Story Hour? It was very progressive. Oh, drag queens treating to the children. Now, people like me were telling you, hey, this is very weird. There's no reason to be sexualizing, Story Hour. But, the progressives, the regressives said, stop being homophobic, transphobic. My friends, You remember this? Sex offender busted as a drag queen who read books to children in city library. Former CEO of organization sponsoring drag queen story hour arrested for child sex abuse images. A judge involved with the drag queen story hour was busted with child pornography images. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The left will tell you, stop being homophobic. You gotta be accepting. You gotta be sex positive. We gotta help these people. No, we've seen that these maps don't really accurately report where they are offending or not offending. Give them pornography. Are you crazy? Oh my god. This video is probably gonna get 3 views considering the amount of times I said child pornography and pedophiles. YouTube's gonna de-rank this video to hell. But I had to make it anyway because this is astounding, preposterous, depraved, immoral, disgusting. So I wanted to make the video, you know? We can't let M be part of the LGBTQIA plus alphabet. We can't normalize or destigmatize pedophiles. We can help them if they're not offending. But once they do offend, I propose we turn them into organ donors. You know, take their organs and kill them. What use do you have of a pedophile? None. Waste of oxygen and of good organs. That's it for today, folks. If you thought it's important, share the video because YouTube's not going to. I said too many no-no words. So, follow me on BitChute, Odyssey Minds, Twitter, Ginger, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. It's the most valuable resource we have. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.